come to a question that somebody asked me to ask you from this song. And so they said, I should ask you if you knew about the coronavirus many years ago when you released this song, because at this point we're all lonely, locked in this song. So.
Right. Well, the interesting thing about it is that everybody's already caught corona before. Corona's nothing new. This is COVID-19. The number 19 is there for a reason. This thing's been been created many years and years ago, and been being developed to a point where now you're on the 19th version of it. So one thing about Africans, our body and immune system is so strong that we fight off a lot of these colds and flus naturally. So this is why even in Africa, the rate of people that's actually infected is super, super low. It's less than 1%. Because, I mean, think about it. I was a kid that grew up in the village that played soccer barefooted, drank from well water, and cooked from lake water. So believe me, there's no virus that can affect my immune system that my immune system can't fight off. And I think that goes for a lot of Africans, so this is why, so this is why we're not really affected by it much. But, and to answer the question, the coronavirus has been around for a minute. You got to educate yourself to all of this that's happening, man, and be aware of how the government is utilizing certain things to depopulate our communities. And, you got big names out there with billions of dollars that's actually involved in a lot of these situations, from the Gates Foundation on and on. Like, these are things that actually help to populate and control, the population. So these things are going to happen, but you got to know and read and educate yourself as to how it's going down so you don't get caught up taking a vaccine that might just, dilute half of Africa's population.
Okay, so Akon, interestingly, you're one of the very few people who championed support for Africa during the Ebola crisis. And you had different campaigns to help to raise money for Africa, and you also spoke out during one of your interviews about the fundraising that's being done, that nobody's seen the money. I think that was during 2015, right? Where people are raising money for Africa that never gets to Africa.
Well, you tell me where that money is. I wish. You know how many billions was raised in the name of Africa? Trust me, if that money was put in... Right now, of all that money... Calls keep coming in.
Who would expect that anyways, the legendary Akon, so... So like you were saying something. Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
So believe me, Africa would never have an issue. Africa would be the richest continent on the planet without even counting the resources that's already there. We all know that none of that money is going to Africa, man. None of that money goes to Africa. Because I know what
It's interesting that
as one person. So, I know where that money went because you can see where that money went, and it's proof that money went there. Whereas these guys have raised billions and billions of dollars, and no one can tell you right now where any of that money went.
Yeah. So, interestingly, you happen to speak out a lot about all this, and many black people in notoriety who are up there seem to, I don't want to use the word cowards, but they seem to be scared of speaking out when they know the truth.
Right.
Is it that you're not scared, or you just have this whole idea of, I have to speak regardless? Because there's a saying, if you speak the truth, you die. If you don't speak the truth, you die. So you rather speak the truth and die, right? So is it that you're not scared of anything, or you just know that someone has to speak up for the people?
No, because I love the people more than I love the money. It's that simple. If you're afraid to lose all your fortune, and you're afraid to lose what you claim to be a value that you work for, and you cherish and hold on to that more than you cherish human life, bro, what kind of person are you? And that's just the way I am. I don't see it to where I would never put fortune, fame above a human life. Never. I don't care how much money they offer me, how much money I turn to lose. If me saving a life allows me to lose money, then so be it. I would prefer to gain a life than gain money. That's just how I am. And I think the people that's silent, that understands what's happening, know exactly what's going on, are there to benefit financially. And this is why they don't say anything. because they don't want to lose out on whatever benefits that may come financially. They would rather earn and spend than to save lives that they know for a fact that what they're getting involved in affects their lives, and I think that's, to me, that's something that they will eventually have to answer with God, because there comes that time in life where life doesn't exist anymore. We're going to all come here, be tested, and then we got to answer to God. When that time comes, I can be proud to know that, that I made all the right decisions. And when he asked me that question, did I choose man over money, it'll be clear,
I love that.
Yeah, that's how you have to see it, man. You just got to hope that these guys come to grips spiritually into themselves and do the right thing. All you can do is pray for people to do the right thing. That's it.
Yes. So, Akon, I appreciate you so much for saying that, because people need to hear this, and people need to know where they stand, and the younger ones coming up need to know how to be vocal about things that affect us. Now, you were proud African. In an interview, they asked you, "Are you American or you're African?" You said, and I quote, you said, "I am an African raised in America." Right. Now, you became a proud American, a proud African, even when being African was not cool. Because there were days where, if you say you're an African, they look at you like, oh.
But you have to ask the question, who's the one that's judging what's cool?
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of here. You think I'm going to let them motherfuckers tell me that I'm not cool? Who the fuck are you?
That's the thing.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the beauty of it. Because now, guess what? Everybody want to be African. And if they don't even understand the power of being African, you got more white people that want to be black than even be white. So the culture is color. The culture now is color. And they see it clearly. Everyone sees it clearly. Even the ones that's not black, they're now trying to find their roots on how they're connected to the color.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. You're not going to go to no beach and don't see white people with suntan lotion on. They all want to be black.
Yes.
If not, they want to be colored. No one wants to be, as yellow and red as Donald Trump. It's just impossible.
So, you see, you were so African that even before the world knew what Afrobeat was, you were one of the few people who said, "I cannot leave my people behind." You traveled back to Africa to help the talents without thinking of ripping them off and making billions off of them. You had collaborations with your African brothers.
Because I'm doing it from a real place. You can, and this is everyone from P Square to Davido to Wizkid you can go on and line. Divine, name all of them. Ask them, have they ever signed a contract with me? Have I ever came after them for money? Have I ever put my hand out and asked them for a penny? All of them would tell you no. Everything I do for them was so they can become who they are today, and hopefully they pass that ball on to someone else. My reward from them is them helping other people. I want them to be able to use that same platform they have and help other people and give them the opportunity that I gave them. Or even if not the opportunity, the exposure, or even the support for that matter. And I think we all deserve that, and we got to help each other, man, because believe me, God only puts the hands of people that can allow others to help people. So you got to, if you want any kind of blessings, you got to be in a position where God knows you're going to pass that blessing on, man, And that's just life. Yeah, the reward can't be money. Believe me, making money is the easiest thing for me. I can make money anywhere I go. So it's never been about money. It's really more so been about creating and gathering more credit, so God can look at me and smile upon me, knowing that I did my purpose on this earth. And that's me. I move from a spiritual side of things. I don't care about the fortune and fame. These things is easy. I can be the biggest scammer right now and win $1 trillion in 30 days. I know for a fact I can accomplish that if I wanted to. But I want to accomplish something that's going to do bigger than just creating money. I want to be able to create an opportunity, create comfortability in people's lives, and more than anything, create opportunity for people that need it. That's my thing,
So, Akon, absolutely, for a man of your caliber, we'll say Timber and caliber, there's no way we can expect it to be money for you. In 2018, you were estimated to be worth $80 million, bro. So.
No, listen, me and you are equal. Listen what I tell you. Me and you and I are equal. I would, first of all, one thing I would never do is expose how much I'm worth or how much money I make. To me, that's dumb. It's frivolous. If I was a billionaire today, no one would never know it. I wouldn't want the world to know it. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't matter. So what? Actually, I would be ashamed of myself if I was a billionaire and I'm out there flaunting it. You mean to tell me I got billions of dollars sitting in the bank?
Yes.
Collecting interest when there's people out there suffering and need my help? You think I'm going to just allow money to sit in the bank and just collect it? Just
yes.
to say that I'm a billionaire? Like, how selfish can one...
Yes.
Yeah, that's the selfishest thing I've ever heard.
And it's not like you can even spend all of them. So coming to you and your wealth, you found a way to do charity and help, right? Which is quite interesting because you're like you said, is why would you just have the money sitting there in the account? You find a way to help people. So you are involved in many charitable projects, especially in Africa.
Well, this thing is I don't believe in charity. So I wouldn't say that I'm involved in charity because I'm more of a social entrepreneur. What I do, I like to get into business that's going to help people. Like, prime example, instead of putting $1 billion into charity, I would take that $1 billion and build a city. What that's going to do is going to provide housing for people, it's going to provide infrastructure for people, it's going to provide jobs for people, and it's going to provide basic healthy living for people. And that alone, think about it. It's not charity, but it's actually allowing people to be able to help themselves. Do that whole process. So why give that money to a Red Cross or a FEMA or UNICEF or whatever at the end of the day? And I don't know where that money went. I don't know who it's going to. The same place where they're supposed to be helping is still in the same situation 10 years later. Like, what is the purpose when I know that I can put that money in a place where I know for a fact, I can see with my own eyes that people are being empowered at the same time. And I can see that they're being helped. I can see they're growing into something bigger than they normally would have had not put that opportunity there in their face. So I don't believe in charity, especially for Africa. We're the richest continent in the world, and you're telling me we're out here begging? What? That don't even make sense. What? Why? They're begging us to use our resources. They're begging us. And right now, if Africa said, you know what? No more resources leave this continent. The whole world would suffocate. They wouldn't know what to do. They would die on the spot. They won't be able to, they would not be sustainable without Africa's resources. So why are we in the ones? Why have we sat there to the point where we allowed them to believe that we're the one that need the help? No, they fucking need help. We don't need no help. The only help we need is unity amongst us to understand how much power we have when we unite. That's it. We need help uniting. That's all Africa needs, help uniting. That's it.
And part of this unity is you picking up my call and saying, hey, my African brother wants me to come alive and talk. And you did talk. Now, you're doing a project Lightning Africa, which is part of the way you feel that you can help Africa. And you've done a lot. Give us I want to see, it looks like the vision, the narrative being told from the media, we see that narrative, but we want to hear from the horse's mouth. Tell us a little bit, what's your vision? How do you intend to cover the whole of Africa with this? Because it's quite ambitious to do that for the whole of Africa.
Believe me, change. Life change.
Looks like the calls are still coming in. Yes, I can see you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, anything that's going to make a huge impact in life is going to be ambitious. You can't be afraid of the ambition. You can't be afraid of the one thing that everybody can't see or try or say that it's impossible to do or that's not possible. There's no way you can do it. Those are the things that make the difference, the ones that everybody say can't be done. So those are the things that you strive for at the end of the day. Now, me, what I wanted with Akon Lighting Africa, first of all, was to create an energy source in the rural areas. Because without energy, you can't start to develop. You can't create no development in any, basic world without basic electricity. You need electricity if you want to be able to expand that to a basic economy. So electricity was the first place that we, targeted. Once we get the electricity in order, then we can start building infrastructure, bridges, roads, hospitals, schools, police stations, fire departments, homes, like you name it. Now we can start building things because you need electricity to, period, to work. So that was my case. And my whole idea and the goal is to build Africa from ground zero and look at it like a clean slate where there's unlimited possibility and opportunity. What do you want to do? It can be achieved in Africa, but without electricity, just unfortunately is the most difficult thing to do. So I wanted to provide electricity in a way to where whatever your dreams are in Africa, it makes it easier for you to develop it from ground zero. And then from there, now we're building everything else. Because as you can see, now we're going into real estate, building smart cities, and creating opportunities now that can really build Africa for its future. You know what I'm saying?
So throw a little bit of light on the smart city and the Akon as well.
Yeah, so the Akon city is to be the first model of a futuristic city that can be duplicated anywhere around the world. All the latest technologies, all the renewable energies incorporated within it, and then more than anything, we want to adapt cryptocurrency. That gives us our own currency, where we can utilize every resource in Africa and now monetize it to where we own it, we control it. It's not going to be no side deals with the Europeans or the Germans or the Italians or the Americans or the Chinese for that matter. If you come into Africa and we have a dollar or a cryptocurrency that actually can back up itself, which I'm utilizing the population as what backs this currency, because the younger generation and all these social entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs in general will be the ones that utilize this token. So it's a utility coin. So ultimately,
yes,
when we come in and you come into the city, you're going to trade whatever fiat currency you have, and you're going to trade it for Acoins. And that Acoin now becomes the currency that you utilize and spend in that city. And hopefully we'll be able to, scale out cities in every major African country to where each city now connects.
Wow.
And then slowly we branch off that same, concept into the country itself. So before you know it, we'll own it. But it's going to be time. It may take 40, 50, maybe 100 years for it all to come together. But at least we strike the spark that can light the fire.
Wow. I'm interested in, I wish I could put a sense on your brain and just try to see how you think. It's just try to see. It's really awesome to see how you think and to hear how you speak. How do I say this? Now, from what you said, right, speaking to you, I'm kind of inspired that we need to do more. I feel like, that means I still have a lot to do.
The thing is, in Africa, we're doing more and we're doing it. The only problem is we're just not doing it together. So it takes time, and it takes a lot longer for progress to happen when everybody's single-handedly doing their own thing. Bro, can I tell you something? And I learned a lot from the Jewish people. They're the smallest group of population in the world, but they control the world. Why? Because they come together. They stick together. They make plans and decisions together. They invest together. And they protect each other. That's the only reason why. They protect each other. And whatever they control, they make sure that another Jewish person controls it or makes a decision or somehow is involved. Africans, we're competing so much against each other. Man, we got one of the biggest populations in the world, but yet we control the least. Why? Because we're so divided.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We control music, we control sports, we control science, we control medicine, we control resources, we control population, we control damn near everything, but yet we have the least influence because we don't stick together. I'm telling you, Africa's weakest link and our biggest mistake is not coming together, bro. Period.
So basically, can you speak?
You say what?
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, let's for a second. Yeah, so basically, unity is power. Unity is key, which is one of the things that we need to focus on. Unity, and when they speak about unity, it's about respect and self-respect, respecting each other's boundary, encouraging each other in the different fields.
All of that has a lot to do with it. But to take it even further, let's say hypothetically we decide we don't like each other or we don't respect each other. We still got to do business together. The Jewish people, they don't like each other. All of them don't respect each other. But
you need to say it again.
When it's time to do business, them motherfuckers stick together. I ain't got to like you, Bob, and I ain't got to like you, Patel, and I ain't got to like you, Shapiro, but guess what? This deal has to happen, and we have to own it.
And they're not going on the internet. They're not going on the internet to bash themselves. We don't know how their community operates.
No, man.
Stick together.
Listen. If I congratulate anybody, it's them because they figured it out. And we don't have to reinvent the wheel. All we have to do is just pay attention.
Yes.
It's simple. Put our egos to the side and say, you know what, my brother? I love what you're doing. Let me support you. Don't think about how much you're going to get out of it or how much, he may have to gain when it comes to notoriety or even credit. Because a lot of times people fight for credit. Everybody's fighting for credit. I did this, I did that. Who gives a fuck who did it? The point is, it's done. But who does it represent and who does it help after it's done? That's the big question. That's where the fight should happen. If what we're doing as African people or black people or brown people, if what we're doing doesn't help us as a people, why are we doing it? For the credit? Give them all the credit. I don't care. As long as it's helping us as a people to grow and control, I'm fine.
Wow.
We don't want to be famous before we rich or famous before. Like, I just don't understand, man. It's so crazy.
I think your famous part of...
We have to work on it.
Yes, it's the mindset. We all want to be called chief, king, boss.
Everybody's following the title. And it's nothing but a title at the end of the day.
Yes.
And we're all fighting for a title.
That's very true. I'm really inspired by having you here, honestly. Now, Akon,
I appreciate you, brother.
Talking about title and egos, let's take it back to music. In Afrobeats, right? The attention of the world is on Afrobeat now, and fortunately, it's a good thing because it's raising more revenue for the artist. However, the Africans and the black in general still have, even the black Americans still do not have control over certain things that they need to have control over. And what do you think is the cause of that? And how do you think that can be changed? Well, the narrative comes from the owners.
Yeah, it's simple. Everybody's chasing the money. That's the problem. Right now, we did control it for a long time. And then now it looks like we're losing control because everybody's chasing the check. If a record company comes to you and say, well, I'll give you $1 million for that album to own all those masters, who's not going to give it to them? Everybody's chasing the dollar. They're not realizing that owning those masters is worth $10 million.
Yes.
Like, so why chase that dollar for today? Because the problem is, Africans, we don't think about tomorrow.
Yes.
And we never think ownership. We just want right now, and then you'll sign 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10 different contracts promising everybody the same thing. Take it. Here's the rights. Oh, you want it? Here, take it. You get the rights too. Like, really? But this is why I got out of the music business. Because you can't find honest people with integrity. It doesn't make sense. It's like, all you have to do is just be honest, have integrity, and do good business. You will make money and then the key is to be loyal. Be loyal to the people that put you there. Be loyal to the people that help you grow, because these are the people that they look up to. So if you don't empower the people that empowered you, everybody lose power. Because now the artist can't be controlled. He can't be tamed. No one wants to do business with the manager because they're looking at him like, oh, well, he doesn't know how to keep his artist. And then he's saying, well, the artist is aren't loyal. So everybody's pointing fingers and blaming each other. So it makes it for unstable business. Nobody wants to invest their money in business that's unstable. So when these corporations look at this, they say, okay, well, this is not sustainable. But those masters are. So just buy that. Offer them whatever price is willing to take. And guess what? We can have a price. So it's just a matter of time before they say, okay, cool, take it, my brother, you can have it. If we understand that this is our culture, and we hold on to that culture, and we decide as a unit, okay, this is how we need to move, give one person the power to make the decision for everybody, we'll win. And everybody benefits. Because there has to be a democracy, everybody's voice is going to count, but there has to be enough to let someone else speak on your behalf. And that's the problem.